There is an announcement recently talking about US visas and the concept of no interview to be issued the US visas. There are some of the misconception on that, and there are some of the things which people should know to understand clearly what does that mean. First and foremost, the issue of not requiring visa interviews on certain types of visas is not something new. It was there, I think, before pandemic, if not mistaken, for certain type of visas. And even an update or announcement of the end of December 22nd to be exactly, was also to go and updating and increasing the certain type of visas. So, number one, it is for specific or certain type of visas. Not all visas, you'll be given the visa without interview. Number two, those visas, people who are supposed to get the visa without interviews, our first category are the people who are applying visa more than, their second time or third time. And if you are applying the same visa category or visa type. For instance, if you're a student or you are having B1, B2 visa, your visa is expired within 48 months. If you apply for another visa of the same type, you'll be getting the visa without interview. But also there are some people who are first time applicant for the visa but are known, they are not of a problem, maybe they might be famous, whatever the reason, they can also be given the visas without interviews. And here is one of the official notification from the government, from the Travel State Department, Travel Gov, the Twitter account. It says, this is January 4, 2023. It says, we are reducing delays for those traveling to the United States for the first time, while streamlining the visa process for the known and repeated travelers and never compromising national security. Nearly half of the visitor visas issued in the year 2022 did not require an interview. So if there are 1 million people who are given the visa, almost half of them, they were given the visas, but these are non-travelers or people who are traveling, repeated travelers, and have never compromised the national security. They have been given the visiting visa without the interview. But whether there is interview or there is no interview, remember, removing the interview doesn't make the process easy. Because some people are assuming, because there is no interview, it will be easier, a slam dunk to get the US visa. No. Don't go that fast. Here is how it is. Just assume in Canada, they don't have visa interview for you to be given Canadian visa. If you want to go to UK, there is no interview at their consulate or the embassy, whatever it is, high commission or whatever they call it. There is no interview to be given the UK visa. So whether they do the interview or they don't do the interview, still the interview or the decision for the visa is based on the documentations. Just like how Canada is processing, they process the visas based on the documentation. How UK is doing, they process using the documentation. So if the US embassy is deciding to reduce a certain number of interviews, doesn't mean that you just go and get it because you just apply, you'll be given the visa. No. It will be something reviewing of the documentations. Just assume, let me give one of the good example in case you do not know. If you go to the US embassy for the visa interview, you go to the first window. You'll provide your documentations, all your documents there. They'll tell you wait on the chair or the bench, whatever seat, you have to wait there. Then you'll be called for the consular will be calling you in another window, separate window. There will be 3 or 4 windows, like 2 or 3 will be for normal people, citizen of that particular country, and 1 will be for American citizen on the end. But the first window is for you to submit the documentation. While you are called to go to the window to meet a consular officer, remember at that particular time, the decision whether to be given the visa or to be denied has already been done. And that decision is done behind the closed door because they have your documentations. You give them the documents. The U.S. Embassy doesn't request the documents in advance like in Canada. So you give them the documents. You say you're going to school. They don't have your I-20. They don't have your bank statement. They don't have whatever it is, document, admission letter. They don't have those kind of information. You will give to them. You're going for traveling. They don't have your invitation letter. You're going for the conference. They don't have the conference letter. They don't have any documentations. So you are the one giving them documents. They'll go in the closed door room. They'll make the decision. While you are called to the consular officer to the interview, the decision has been done. Meaning, in some countries like in Tanzania, you'll find there will be a small card. That means they'll give you the card to come to collect your passport and the visa on certain particular date. Okay, if it's Monday, they can come on Wednesday or Friday, whatever it is. They'll tell you the time to come to collect your passport. But if you are denied the visa, there will be no that card. At the desk, there will be a letter already written, the general letter. That means you have been denied the visa. It will be there with your passport. So they will return your passport. They will give you the letter. You have been denied the visa. So the questions you are going to be asked by the consular, in 99.9%, don't change the outcome. When they ask you, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to study at this university. Where is this university? Obviously, they know those kind of questions because they have your I-20, they have your admissions. And in the visa form, you already said where you are going. They know that information. So that question doesn't make any part of the decision. They'll ask the question, prove to me you'll be coming back. Already they have the documentations. So unless otherwise you have been granted the visa, like they have made a decision to grant the visa, and they say, do you plan to come back? And you, by your craziness, you said, oh, I'm not planning to come back. Yes, they can change that decision. But in 99.9%, the decision is a clear-cut based on the documentations. That's why we usually tell you that make sure that wherever you go there, you are well prepared with the documents. Those questions they are going to ask you there, their percentage is 0.1% to have any influence in the decision making. So don't celebrate too much about, oh, no interview. Whether there's the interview, there is no interview. That doesn't change the fact that still the visa will be difficult to get it, because unless otherwise you meet the qualifications, you come with the documentations, you come with the proper documentation to support and convince them. The convince is not about your words that I love my country very much, I'll be coming back to my home country. It's not about that. It's about the documents. It's about the assets. It's about affiliation to your home country. Those are the things they need you to show them, not to say. So, whether it's the visa interview, no visa interview, in my opinion, it means nothing. So, make sure that wherever you go to the visa interview or you don't go to the visa interview, don't ignore to have very good documentation to support what you are supposed to apply and submit to convince them to be given the visa you are supposed to get.